65. Partly cloudy, patchy fog tomorrow night. Cool again, 40 to 45.
Right now, it's 39.
It's time for Mornings at 8 with Jonathan Mark on AM 1480 WLEA. Well, yes, it is time for Mornings at 8, and here we are, 5 minutes after 8 o'clock on a Wednesday morning. Wednesday, halfway through the week, and from here you can see the weekend over the horizon. It'll be here soon enough, so here we go. Wow, boy, so much going on. Okay, it's a beautiful autumn morning. Absolutely gorgeous out there. A little foggy, a little chilly. As a matter of fact, we had an overnight low of 31 in greater metropolitan Almond. And I went to start the car this morning, and I said, that looks a lot like, uh-oh. I did the old thumbnail test on the windshield, and yes, indeed, we had frost. So this was the first morning of frost for the season. How nice. Anyway, it still is a beautiful day. Well, Louisa, before I do anything else, on Monday's show, I mentioned there are two important events coming up. And I believe I said didn't listen to the program, but I think I said they're coming up this weekend. Wrong. See, there's so much going on. Sometimes I get just a little bit ahead of myself. There is going to be a fundraiser for Hornell firefighter Chris Cartella, who suffered a stroke, and that will be at the main place, and that's coming up next Friday, the 18th. I think I said this Friday. I was wrong, I believe. As I said, I didn't listen to the show again, but I think I said it was going to be this Friday. It's next Friday, the 18th, so that'll be at the main place next Friday. And also the Steuben County Democratic Party is holding their Oktoberfest, and that's going to be next Sunday, the 20th. So, yeah, I get just a little ahead of myself sometimes, so there you go. And I will tell you more about those again next week. Well, as you heard on Brian's News, Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul is going to be in town this morning at the main place, and she'll be here at 10:30 to make an announcement. Now, we're not quite sure what the announcement is about, but the Lieutenant Governor doesn't visit Hornell just on a whim, okay? So it's got to be pretty important. And, of course, WLEA will be there at the main place to find out exactly what this important announcement is about. And we'll see. But whatever it is, it should be pretty good news. Who knows? We'll find out. Well, let me see here. There's so much going on. As usual, let me see. Where do we start? How about, let me see. How about we start in Albany? Where'd I get this? From the New York Daily News. Socialists in Albany, hoping to unseat Democrats, want to abolish private property. And doesn't that sound perfectly reasonable? So they want to abolish private property. Anyway, a slate of Democratic socialists hoping to bring their anti-capitalist agenda to Albany have some thought-provoking ideas, like doing away with private property. Okay, no more private property, eh? Let's see how this goes. Boris Santos, who's mounting a primary challenge against Assemblyman Eric Dillon of Bushwick, I believe that's somewhere in Brooklyn. Yeah, he floated the notion of purging private ownership of apartment buildings as a way of alleviating the city's affordable housing crisis. How do you like that? Doing away with private property. Let's see where this goes. He said, we believe that we should eradicate private property and go to a model of collective ownership, the 29-year-old told the crowd. That's why we invest in things like community land trusts. Now, Santos recently stepped down as chief of staff to State Senator Julia Salazar of Brooklyn, who became the first Democratic socialist elected to the legislature last year. So apparently, these people feel that the Democrats haven't gone far left enough or have served too long in Albany. And when we run with a squad, Santos said. Of course, that refers to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC, and ordinary charter head and other young progressive members of Congress. We run with numbers because we know that in numbers there's power, and this power is anti-capitalist, baby. That's what he said. That's in quotes. So apparently these people think that private ownership is a nasty, terrible thing, and they want to do away with it. As I said, it seems like a perfectly reasonable, logical idea. That's right. That's how they go. Okay, and in somewhat of a related lunacy thing here, lawmakers in Burlington, Vermont, approved a resolution Monday that would allow non-citizens to vote in city elections. Burlington, of course, is the hometown of Bernie Sanders. Councilman Adam Roof, who wrote the resolution which passed in a 10-2 vote, argued all residents of the city are impacted by decisions made at City Hall and therefore should be allowed to vote regardless of citizenship status. The right to vote is more important now than ever before, he said. All residents have the right, in my eyes, to participate in the local democratic process, and the highest level of participation in that process is being able to cast your vote. I think maybe the right to vote for U.S. citizens, not illegal aliens. I don't know about that. Anyway, he said the resolution aligns with the city's 2014 Diversity and Equity Strategic Plan, whatever that is, to create a more engaged community. More than 3,000 residents are ineligible to vote due to their status as refugees, the resolution said. One resident said that we have 40,000 plus registered voters. How many of them are non-resident college students who vote on our property taxes, our legislators, our city leadership, which includes all of you, and much more, and then move away? So as I said, Burlington's the hometown of Bernie Sanders. And Council President Kurt Wright said he voted against the legislation because he believes only American citizens should be able to vote. A perfectly good idea. I kind of like that. He says, I think that's important. I would not expect to move to another country and not become a citizen and expect to be voting in their elections, said Wright. We voted on this just a few years ago, and the citizens of Burlington voted significantly against it, so I'm not supportive of this plan. So that still has to be approved by the state legislature. So in Burlington, Vermont, they want non-citizens to be able to vote. And, if you move to Ecuador, let's say you move to China or France, would you be allowed to vote in a local election or any kind of election at all? I don't think so. But apparently in Burlington, that seems like a pretty good idea. So we will see how that goes. Wow. Okay, fine. Yes, right. That's right. We had frost this morning, and winter's coming. Eventually, it'll be here. And winter storm snow take aim at North Dakota, Minnesota, and Colorado. So this global warming just keeps getting worse every day. It just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. Anyway, so the powerful system is expected to produce heavy snow as much as 12 inches from the north central Rockies into the northern plains, the National Weather Service said. Winter storm warnings and watches are already widespread across the region, all the way from Idaho to Minnesota. So anyway, temperatures will also plunge by as much as 60 degrees in the span of 12 to 24 hours in that area, as the cold air swiftly replaces preceding mild conditions, AccuWeather said. Within 24 hours, Denver may go from 80 degrees in sunshine on Tuesday to 20 degrees in snow Wednesday night, which, of course, is this evening. So they're expecting a whole bunch of snow out there. I mean, a lot of snow. Teeth-chattering cold, all that stuff. So that's what global warming does. It brings snow and cold weather. Okay, global warming, cold weather. Global warming, cold weather. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Oh, yesterday I had a story about Britain is bracing for the coldest winter in 30 years. As a matter of fact, it's going to rival the cold spell they had in 1963, which was supposed to be the coldest in 200 years. So that's all. That's going on there. And it's funny. I noticed I found two stories this morning. These climate alarmists will bring up these hypothetical, impossible situations, and you're supposed to be impressed and alarmed and react or something. I found 2 stories this morning, one on Business Insider Australia, and the story was about, let's say that all the ice melted overnight. Let's say all the ice on the planet melted overnight. What would happen? Now, of course, that's totally impossible. I mean, it's just not going to happen. But let's say it did. How scared would you be? What's going to happen if all the ice on the planet melted overnight? Okay, that's good. And then another one, this wasn't the Business Insider Australia, this was just the Insider, and that story dealt with the climate changing. And let us say that all the bees went extinct overnight. Let's say every bee on the planet died overnight. What would happen? Well, let me see. A whole bunch of plants wouldn't be pollinated, and the people would die, and the crops would die. So that's what would happen if all the bees died overnight. So if all the ice melted overnight, and then all the bees went extinct overnight, I mean, that'd be a really bad day. But let's, why stop there? Let's say that we were hit by an asteroid the size of Montana overnight. What would happen then? What would you do then? Let's say that your hair caught on fire. Then what do you do? So not only has all the ice melted overnight, all the bees were extinct, we've been hit by an asteroid the size of Montana, and further, your hair is on fire. Now what? See, now what? And that's what they do. They make up these crazy situations, and you're supposed to have some reaction or something. I don't understand that. It's all very strange. Okay, speaking about strange, this is more than strange. This really is kind of alarming. How do I do this? A new poll reveals that almost 30% of Democrat college students want to ban Make America Great hats on their campus. That's 3 in 10 Democrat students on college campuses. According to a poll published by the College Fix, a surprising number of college leftists are in favor of censoring the free expression of their counterparts on the right. And the poll, which was conducted by College Pulse, found that 16% of students that self-identified as strong Democrats said that they strongly favor banning Make America Great hats from their campus. So, it's, college is supposed to be about free speech, isn't it? I think, maybe, or like part of it. I mean, it's really weird. So, in other words, wearing a hat, a Make America Great hat, again, a Make America Great Again hat on campus should be banned. Holy mackerel! I mean, that's really sad. It should be banned. Okay, all right. And another one, I got this from Breitbart. University of Maryland students on Communist China. Quote, they must be doing something right. That's from the University of Maryland. They must be doing something right. Students at the University of Maryland were interviewed about their feelings about the 70th anniversary of Communist China. A great place, I'm sure. Multiple students were sympathetic to the communist government, including one who commented that it must be doing something right to have lasted 70 years. In a series of interviews with Campus Reform, a great website, students at the University of Maryland offered some shocking perspectives on the 70th anniversary of Communist China. Some students even said that they were proud of the anniversary. One said, what did this guy say? I think we should be proud of that and happy about that. We are really proud of that, he said. If it's been working for 70 years, they must be doing something right. It's pretty somber. A lot of people have been living in poverty because of Mao's revolution, one student said. So he wasn't quite in favor of it. So at least there's somebody who exercised some common sense. He said, not every student offered praise for Communist China and Mao Zedong. I think that his methods were insane, okay, good, and that he was incredibly violent, yes, okay. He was very against spiritualism and religion, which I don't agree with. Okay, that too is pretty good. So not everybody there is crazy. But a lot of students at the University of Maryland think that Communist China is perfectly okay. Okay, very good, very good. That's really bad news. I really don't like that. Let me see, what else? Let me see. How about we go here? There are bank robbers, and then there are bank robbers. And then there are bank robbers who can really talk. A German man jailed for 3 bank robberies reported giving a very long, 20-hour-long statement before his sentencing Monday. And during this 20-hour-long statement, he included anecdotes about his fitness routine and accounts from his criminal history. So this guy was about to be sentenced. And the judge said, "Would you like to make a statement?" And this guy rambled on for 20 hours. How was that possible? But they let this guy go on for 20 hours. So eventually, the judge said, "Okay, that's enough. Knock it off. That's plenty. Thank you very much." After a 20-hour statement. And then he sentenced him to 12 and a half years in prison for 3 bank robberies between 2011 and 2018. But this guy, he's 71 years old, and he's been a professional bank robber for a long time. So he saw his opportunity, and he took it. And during his prolonged statement, he reportedly said he was more intelligent and clever than any employee of the criminal justice system, and bragged about his daily fitness regimen in jail. He also boasted about doing sit-ups 3 times a day and doing 5K runs, the report said. So anyway, this guy gets the opportunity to make a statement, and he goes for it. A 20-hour-long statement. How did everybody stay awake all that time? I have no idea. Okay, fine. Well, let's see here. Everybody needs insurance. Okay, that's pretty easy to understand. Everybody needs insurance. You need it. I need it. Everybody needs insurance. And you can do no better than contacting the Ryan agencies with offices in Hornell, Jasper, and Wellsville. They have access to many insurance companies, so they can find the best rates and the best plans for you. They are insurance experts. They offer sound, friendly advice, unbiased. As I said, they have access to all these companies, so they can find the best one for you. So they don't represent a single insurance company. They put you first. They are the Ryan agencies.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Eddie Garcia.
In postseason baseball, Game 4 American League Division Series, and the Rays strike early against Houston ace Justin Verlander, working on 3 days rest. Tampa Bay scoring 3 runs in the first inning. Tommy Pham hitting a first-inning home run as they go on for a 4-1 win over the Astros. 6 pitchers combined to hold Houston to just 1 run on 6 hits. The series is now tied at 2-2 after Houston had a 2-0 series lead. We'll now have a deciding Game 5 Thursday in Houston. Game 5 NLDS comes up later on today, 5 Eastern in Atlanta. Braves host the Cardinals. Jack Flaherty will start for St. Louis. Mike Voltinowitz for Atlanta. Game 5 NLDS in Los Angeles, winner take all. Dodgers hosting the Nationals at 8:30 Eastern. Steven Strasburg will start for Washington. Walker Buehler for LA. In the NHL, the Bruins beat the Golden Knights 4-3. Boston's 3-0, handing Vegas its first loss of the year. Oilers beat the Islanders 5-2. Edmonton's 3-0. James Neal, 4 goals in the win for the Oilers.
I'm Charles Payne, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Lionsgate Entertainment is considering separating its Starz channel into a separate company. The Wall Street Journal says Lionsgate has discussed a sale or spinoff to deal with debt. Starz is known for original series including Outlander. Lionsgate is the studio behind the Hunger Games movie franchise. Healthy potato chip brand Pop Chips has been sold to investment firm VMG Partners. VMG also owns Kind Bars and Pretzel Chips. Fed Chair Jerome Powell indicated yesterday he's open to future interest rate cuts and said the economy is likely to expand. However, stocks skidded on concerns that recent developments with China will impact this week's trade negotiations. The Dow dropped 313 yesterday. NASDAQ was down 132. S&P down 45. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
The IRS has the power to take your property, garnish your wages, and even send you to jail for back taxes and unfiled tax returns. Don't wait for the IRS to kick in your door. Call Kick IRS today. At Kick IRS, we protect you from bank levies, wage garnishments, and asset seizures. No matter how much you owe, Kick IRS will resolve your tax debt and kick the IRS out of your life once and for all. Call Kick IRS right now at 866-KICK-IRS. That's 866-KICK-IRS. Or visit us on the web at kickirs.com.
Today at Simmons Rockwell Nissan in Horseheads and Hornell, New York, you'll find brand new 2019 Nissan Sentra SV models equipped with 16-inch alloy wheels, rear monitor, push-button ignition, and cruise control for just $15,999. Shop Simmons Rockwell Nissan in Horseheads or Hornell. Simmons-Rockwell.com.
Okay, and back we are. You know, with all this talk in Washington of impeachment, I'm going to impeach you, you're going to impeach me, and you're wrong, no, you're wrong. It goes back and forth and back and forth. Well, I don't know about that. You know, I leave that stuff to Brian Kilmeade and Rush Limbaugh and Sean Hannity. But I did find this, and this is kind of interesting. Yesterday on PBS NewsHour, former Secretary of State, that's right, Hillary Clinton, Hillary Clinton, wow, where did she come from? Remarked that maybe there should be a rematch between her and President Trump. And wouldn't that be amusing? And obviously, she says, I can beat him again. Beat him again. She didn't beat him the first time, but that's what she said. I can beat him again. Okay, let's see. Hillary said, you know, it truly is remarkable how obsessed he remains with me. But this latest tweet is so typical of him. Nothing has been more examined and looked at than my emails. Sure, okay, fine. We all know that. So he's either lying or delusional or both. There was no subpoena, as he says in a tweet this morning, which was yesterday. So maybe there does need to be a rematch. I mean, obviously, I can beat him again. But just seriously, I don't understand. I don't think anybody understands what motivates him, other than personal grievance, other than seeking adulation. Coming from Hillary Clinton. Okay, wouldn't that be amusing? So let's pretend that Hillary does get the nomination. I don't see how, but let's say she does. And she ran again. And she lost again. Brother, it would be the end of the world as we know it. If she ran again and she lost again. You think this is bad? This has been going on since 2016. So if she ran again and she lost again, it would be, I don't even know, man. Yeah. Okay, fine. Here's where did I get this from? Fox News. So this guy in Arizona, where in Arizona was he? In Phoenix, that's right. So he gets upset with his upstairs neighbor, or neighbors, plural, and they're making a bunch of noise. So he initially went upstairs and he said, hey, would you please keep the noise down? I'm really annoyed. I mean, it's really keeping me up. And this was on Sunday night. So he banged on the door, yelling at them. Okay, through the door, knock off the noise. I'm trying to sleep. And it was around 11:30 at night, right? So he gets really mad. Then he goes back downstairs. And he's still upset. He says, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? So he takes a weapon and he fires several shots into the ceiling with the handgun, right? So if your neighbors are making noise upstairs, okay, we've all had noisy upstairs neighbors. So he fires a couple of shots into the ceiling. But somehow he shot himself in the face as he's doing that. So he was transported to a hospital in critical condition. So nobody else was hurt. So this guy is trying to quiet his neighbors down and shoots himself in the face. Okay, that's really not too awfully good. And here's one. Police in Niagara Falls are looking for a man who made 3 robberies on Monday. Now, you can't miss this guy because they have the photographs of the guy in the store's cameras. He was wearing a paper bag on his head with 2 little eye holes cut out. He has a paper bag in his head.
Was it Marshmello the singer? He dresses like that.
It kind of looks like it, yeah, except this guy went one better. he had a plastic bag on his gun hand. He has a gun. And for some reason, he had a plastic bag around his waist. I don't know what that's about. But anyway, so he robbed these places with a paper bag in his head and a plastic bag in his hand. And so you can't miss him. If you saw this guy, you probably recognize him in a heartbeat. So they're looking for him. They still haven't found him, but there you go. Okay, fine. And there we go. I guess that's it for this morning show, and I will see you tomorrow at 8:05. Bye.